Aircraft cleaning. Cleaning an aircraft and keeping it clean are extremely important. A cracked landing gear fittings covered with mud and grease may be easily overlooked. Dirt can be hide cracks in the skin. Dust and grit cause hinge fittings to wear extensively. A film of dirt, if left on the aircraft outer surface, reduces flying speed and adds extra weight. Dirt or trash blowing or bouncing around the inside of the aircraft is annoying and dangerous. Small pieces of dirt blown into the eyes of the pilot at a critical moment can cause an accident. A coating of dirt and grease on moving parts makes a sort of grinding compound that can cause excessive wear. Salt water has a serious corroding effect on exposed metal parts of the aircraft and should be washed off immediately. There are many different kinds of cleaning agents approved for use in cleaning aircraft. It is impractical to cover each of the various types of cleaning agents since their use varies under different conditions, such as the type of material to be removed, the aircraft finish, and whether the cleaning is internal or external. In general, the types of cleaning agents used on aircraft are solvent emulsion cleaners, soaps, and synthetic detergents. Their use must be in accordance with the applicable maintenance manual. The type of cleaning agents named above are also plasdas, light or heavy-duty cleaners. The soap and synthetic detergent type cleaners are used for light-duty cleaning, while the solvent and emulsion type cleaners are used for heavy-duty cleaning. The light-duty cleaners, which are non-toxic and non-flammable, should be used whenever possible. Exterior cleaning. There are three methods of cleaning the aircraft exterior. Number 1 is wet wash, number 2 is dry wash, and number 3 is polishing. Polishing can be further broken down into hand polishing and mechanical polishing. The type and extent of soiling and the final desired appearance determine the cleaning method to be used. Wet wash removes oil, grease or carbon deposits and most soil, with the exception of corrosion and oxide films. The cleaning compound used are usually applied by spray or mop, after which high pressure running water is used as a rinse. Either alkaline or emulsion cleaners can be used in the wet wash method. Dry wash is used to remove airport film, dust and small accumulation of dirt and soil when the use of liquid is neither desirable nor practical. This method is not suitable for removing heavy deposits of carbon, grease or oil, especially in the engine exhaust areas. Dry wash materials are applied with sprays, mops or cloths and removed by dry mopping or wiping with clean dry clothes. Polishing restores the luster to painted and unpainted surface of the airplane and is usually performed after the surfaces have been cleaned. Polishing is also used to remove oxidation and corrosion. Polishing materials are available in various forms and degrees of abrasiveness. It is important that the aircraft manufacturer's instruction be used in specific applications. The washing of aircraft should be performed in the shade whenever possible, or as cleaning compounds tend to streak the surface if applied to hot metal, or permitted to dry on the area. Install covers over all openings where water or cleaners might enter and cause damage. Various areas of aircraft such as the section housing radar and the area forward of the cockpit that are finished with a dull paint should not be cleaned more than necessary and should never be scrubbed with stiff brushes or coarse rags. A soft sponge or cheesecloth with a minimum of manual rubbing is advisable. Any oil or exhaust stains on the surface should first be removed with a solvent such as kerosene or other petroleum based solvent. The surfaces should be rinsed immediately after cleaning to prevent the compound from drying on the surface. Before applying soap and water to plastic surfaces, flush the plastic surfaces with fresh water to dissolve salt deposits and wash away dust particles. Plastic surfaces should be washed with soap and water, preferably by hand. Rinse with fresh water and dry with chamois or absorbent cotton. In view of the soft surface, do not rub plastic with a dry cloth since this is not only likely to cause scratches but it also builds up an electrostatic charge which attracts dust particles to the surface. The charge as well as the dust may be removed by patting or gently blotting with a clean damp chamois. Do not use coloring powder or other material which can mar the finish. Remove oil and grease by rubbing gently with a cloth wet with soap and water. Do not use acetone, benzene, carbon tetrachloride, lacquer thinners, window cleaning sprays, gasoline, fire extinguisher or de-icer fluid on plastics because they soften the plastic and cause crackling. Surface oil, hydraulic fluid, grease or fuel can be removed from aircraft tires by washing with a mild soap solution. After cleaning, lubricate all grease fittings, hinges, etc. Where removed contamination or dilution of the grease is suspected during washing of the aircraft. Interior cleaning. Keeping the interior of the aircraft clean is just as important as maintaining a clean exterior surface. Corrosion can establish itself on the inside structure to a greater degree because it is difficult to reach some areas for cleaning. Nuts, bolts, bits of wire or other metal objects carelessly dropped and neglected, combined with moisture and dissimilar metal contact, can cause electrolytic corrosion. When performing structural work inside the aircraft, all metal particles and other debris should be cleaned up as soon as possible. To make cleaning easier and prevent the metal particles and debris from getting into inaccessible areas, a drop cloth can be used in the work area to catch this debris. A vacuum cleaner can be used to pick up dust and dirt from the interior of the cockpit and cabin. Aircraft interior present certain problems during cleaning operations. The following is taken from the National Fire Protection Association (NFPA) Bulletin has 410 F aircraft cabin cleaning operation. Basic to an understanding of the problem is the fact that the aircraft cabin compartments constitute relatively small enclosures are measured by their cubic footage. This presents This presents the possibility of restricted ventilation and the quick buildup of flammable vapor-air mixtures where there is any indiscriminate use of flammable cleaning agents for solvents. Within the same volume, there may also exist the possibility of an ignition source in the form of an electrical fault, a friction or static spark, an open flame device, or some other potential introduced by concurrent maintenance work. Wherever possible, non-flammable agents should be used in the operation to reduce to the minimum the fire and explosion hazards. Types of cleaning operation. The principal areas of aircraft cabins which may need periodic cleaning are: number 1, aircraft passengers cabin areas, seats, carpets, side panels, headliners, overhead racks, curtains and ashtrays, windows, doors, decorative panels of plastic, wood or similar materials. Number 2, aircraft flight station areas, in bracket, similar material to those found in passenger cabin areas plus instrument panels. Control pedestals, glare shields, flooring materials, metallic surfaces of instruments and flight control equipment, electrical cables and contacts, etc. Number 3, laboratories and buffets, in brackets, similar material to those found in passenger cabin areas plus toilet facilities, metal fixtures and trim, trash containers, cabinets, wash and sink basins, mirrors, ovens, etc. Non-flammable aircraft cabin cleaning agents and solvents. Number 1 is detergent and soaps. These have widespread application for the most aircraft cleaning operation involving fabrics, headliners, rugs, windows and similar surfaces that are not damageable by water solution since they are color fast and non-sinkable. Care is frequently needed to prevent leaching of water soluble fire retardant salts which may have been used to treat such materials in order to reduce their flame spread characteristic. Number 2, alkaline cleaners. Most of these agents are water soluble and thus have no fire hazard properties. They can be used on fabrics, headliners, rugs and similar surfaces in the same manner as detergent and soap solution, with only minor added limitations resulting from their inherent caustic character, which may increase their efficiency as cleaning agents but result in somewhat greater deteriorating effects on certain fabrics and plastics. Number 3, acid solutions. A number of proprietary acid solutions are available for use as cleaning agents. They are normally mild solutions designed primarily to remove carbon, smut or corrosive stains. As water-based solutions, they have no flash point but may require more careful and judicious use not only to prevent damage to fabrics, plastics or other surfaces but also to protect the skin and clothing of those using the materials. Deodorizing or disinfecting agents. A number of proprietary agents useful for aircraft cabin deodorizing or disinfecting are non-inflammable. Most of these are designed for spray applications, in bracket aerosol type, and have a non-flammable pressurizing agent, but it will to check this carefully as some may contain a flammable compressed gas for pressurization. Number 5 is abrasives. Some proprietary and non-flammable mild abrasive materials are available for rejuvenating painted or polished surfaces. They prevent no fire hazard. Number 6 is dry cleaning agents. Perchloroethylene and trichloroethylene as used at ambient temperature are examples of non-flammable dry cleaning agents. These materials do not have a toxicity hazard requiring care in their use. Fire retardant treated materials may be adversely affected by the application of these agents as is true of the water-soluble agents and combustible agents. Number 1. High flash point solvents, especially refined petroleum products, first developed as standard solvent but now sold under a variety of trade names by different companies, have solvent properties approximately gasoline but have fire hazard properties similar to those of kerosene as commonly used (not heated). Most of these are stable products having a flash point from 100 degree Fahrenheit to 140 degree Fahrenheit with a comparatively low degree of toxicity. Number 2. Low flash point solvents. Class 1 flash point at below 100 degree Fahrenheit. Liquids should not be used for aircraft cleaning or refurbishing. Common materials falling into the class are acetone, aviation gasoline, methyl ethyl ketone, naphtha and toluol. In cases where it is absolutely necessary to use a flammable liquid, high flash point liquids those having a flash point of 100 degree Fahrenheit or more should be used. Now number 3 is mixed liquids. Some commercial solvents are mixture of liquids with differing rates of evaporation, such as mixture of one of the various naphthas and a chlorinated material. The different rates of evaporation may present problems from both the toxicity and fire hazard viewpoints, and such mixtures should not be used unless they are stored and handled with full knowledge of these hazards and appropriate precautions taken. Container controls. Flammable liquids should be handled only in approved containers or safety cans appropriately labeled. Fire prevention precautions. During aircraft cleaning or refurbishing operations where flammable or combustible liquids are used, the following general safeguards are recommended. Number 1. Aircraft cabins should be provided with ventilation sufficient at all times to prevent the accumulation of flammable vapors. To accomplish this, doors to cabins shall be open to secure maximum advantage of natural ventilation. Where such natural ventilation is insufficient, under all conditions, to prevent the accumulation of flammable vapors, approved mechanical ventilation equipment shall be provided and used. The accumulation of flammable vapors above 25% of the lower flammability limit of the particular vapor being used, measured at a point 5 feet from the location of use, shall result in emergency revisions of operations in progress. Number 2. All open flame and spark producing equipment or devices that might be brought within the vapor hazard area should be shut down and not operated during the period when flammable vapors may exist. Number 3. Electrical equipment of a hand-portable nature used within an aircraft cabin shall be of the type approved for the use in Class 1 Group D hazardous location as defined by the National Electrical Code. Number 4. switches to aircraft cabin lighting and to the aircraft electrical system. Components within the cabin area should not be worked on or switched on or off during cleaning operations. Number 5. Suitable warning signs should be placed in conspicuous location at aircraft doors to indicate the flammable liquids are being or have been used in the cleaning or refurbishing operation in progress. 5. Protection recommendations. During aircraft cleaning or refurbishing operation where flammable liquids are used, the following general fire protection safeguards are recommended. Number 1. Aircraft undergoing such cleaning or refurbishing should preferably be located outside of the hangar buildings when weather condition permits. This provides for added natural ventilation and normally assures easier access to the aircraft in event of fire. Number 2. It is recommended that during such cleaning or refurbishing operations in an aircraft outside of the hangar, that portable fire extinguishers be provided at cabin entrances having a minimum rating of 20-B and at minimum a booster hose line with an adjustable water spray nozzle be available capable of reaching the cabin area for use pending the arrival of airport fire equipment. As an alternate to the previous recommendation, a Class A fire extinguisher having a minimum rating of 4-A plus or a Class B fire extinguisher having a minimum rating of 20-B should be placed at aircraft cabin doors for immediate use if required. Note: 1. All-purpose (dry chemical) type extinguishers should not be used in situation where aluminum corrosion is a problem. Note 2. Portable and semi-portable fire detection and extinguishing equipment has been developed, tested and installed to provide protection to aircraft during construction and maintenance operations. Operators are used to investigate the feasibility of utilizing such equipment during aircraft cabin cleaning and refurbishing operation. Number 3. Aircraft undergoing such cleaning or refurbishing where the work must be done under cover should be in hangars equipped with automatic fire protection equipment. Now, next is power plant cleaning. Cleaning the power plant is an important job and should be done strongly. Grease and dirt accumulation on air-cooled engine provide an effective insulation against the cooling effect of air flowing over it. Such an accumulation can also cover up cracks or other defects. When cleaning an engine, open or remove the cowling. Beginning with the top, the engine and accessories are washed down with fine spray of kerosene or solvent. A bristle brush may be used to help clean some of the surfaces. Fresh water and soap and approved cleaning solvents may be used for cleaning propeller and rotor blades. Except in the process of etching, causing material should not be used on a propeller. Scrapers, power buffer, steel brushes or any tool or substances that will mar or scratch the surface should not be used on propeller blades, except as recommended for etching and repair. Water spray, rain or other airborne abrasive materials strike a whirling propeller blade with such force that small pits are formed in the blade's leading edge. If preventive measures are not taken, corrosion causes these pits too rapidly grow larger. The pits may become so large that it is necessary to file the blade leading edge until it is smooth. Steel propeller blades have a more resistance to abrasion and corrosion than aluminum alloy blades. Steel blades, if rubbed down with oil after each flight, retain smooth surface for a long time. Propellers should be examined regularly because cracks in steel or aluminum alloy blades can become filled with oil which tends to oxidize. This can readily be seen when the blade is inspected. Keeping the surface wiped with oil serves as a safety feature by helping to make cracks more obvious. Propeller hubs must be inspected regularly for cracks and other defects. Unless the hubs are kept clean, defects may not be found. Steel hubs should be cleaned with soap and fresh water or with an approved cleaning solvent. These cleaning solvents may be applied by clothes or brushes. Tools and abrasives that scratch or otherwise damage the plating should be avoided. In special cases in which a high polish is desired, the use of a good grade of metal polish is recommended. Upon completion of the polishing, all traces of polish may be removed immediately. The blades cleaned and coated with clean engine oil. All cleaning substances must be removed immediately after completion of the cleaning of any propeller part. Soap in any form can be removed by rinsing repeatedly with fresh water. After rinsing, all surfaces should be dried and coated with clean engine oil. After cleaning the power plant, all control arms, bell cranks and moving parts should be lubricated according to instructions in the applicable maintenance manual. Solvent cleaners. In general, solvent cleaners used in aircraft cleaning should have a flash point of not less than 105 degree Fahrenheit. 105 degree Fahrenheit. If explosion proofing of equipment and other special precautions are to be avoided. Chlorinated solvents of all types meet the non-flammable requirement but are toxic, and safety precautions must be observed in their use. Use of carbon tetrachloride should be avoided. Dry cleaning solvent. Stoddard solvent is the most common petroleum-based solvent used in aircraft cleaning. Its flash point is slightly above 105 degree Fahrenheit and can be used to remove grease, oils or light soils. Dry cleaning solvent is preferable to kerosene for all cleaning purposes, but like kerosene, it leaves a slight residue upon evaporation which may interfere with the application of some final paint films. Aliphatic and aromatic naphtha. Aliphatic naphtha is recommended for wipe down of clean surfaces just before painting. This material can also be used for cleaning acrylics and rubber. It flashes at approximately 80 degree Fahrenheit and must be used with care. Aromatic naphtha should not be confused with the aliphatic material. It is toxic and attacks acrylics and rubber products and must be used with adequate control. Safety solvent. Safety solvent trichloroethane methyl chloroform is used for general cleaning and grease removal. It is non-flammable under ordinary circumstances and is used as a replacement for carbon tetrachloride. The use and safety precautions necessary when using chlorinated solvents must be observed. prolonged use can cause dermatitis on some persons. It is a kind of disease which affects the skin. Methyl ethyl ketone, in bracket capital MEK. MEK is also available as a solvent cleaner for metal surfaces and paint streamer for small areas. This is a very active solvent and metal cleaner with a flash point of about 24 degree Fahrenheit. It is toxic when inhaled and safety precautions must be observed during its use. Kerosene. Kerosene is mixed with solvent emulsion type cleaners for softening heavy preservative coatings. It is also used for general solvent cleaning, but its use should be followed by a coating or rinse with some other type of protective agent. Kerosene does not evaporate as rapidly as dry cleaning solvent and generally leaves an appreciable film on clean surfaces, which may actually be corrosive. Kerosene films may be removed with safety solvent, water emulsion cleaners or detergent mixtures. Cleaning compound for oxygen systems. Cleaning compound for use in the oxygen system are anhydrous (waterless), ethyl alcohol, isopropyl (anti-icing fluid), alcohol or a mixture of freon and isopropyl alcohol. This may be used to clean accessible components of the oxygen system such as crew mask and lines. Fluid should not be put into tanks or regulators. Do not use any cleaning compounds which may leave on an oily film when cleaning oxygen equipment. Avoid prolonged skin contact with the freon alcohol mixture or breathing of the vapors. Instructions of the manufacturer of the oxygen equipment and cleaning compounds must be followed at all times. Emulsion cleaners. Solvent and water emulsion compounds are used in general aircraft cleaning. Solvent emulsions are particularly useful in the removal of heavy deposits such as carbon, grease, oil or tar. When used in accordance with instructions, these solvents emulsion do not affect good paint coating or organic finishes. Water emulsion cleaner. Material available under specification MIL-C-22543A is a water emulsion cleaning compound intended for use on both painted and unpainted aircraft surfaces. This material is also acceptable for cleaning fluorescent painted surfaces and is safe for use on acrylic. However, these properties will vary with the material available and a sample application should be checked carefully before general uncontrolled use. Solvent emulsion cleaners. One type of solvent emulsion cleaner is non-phenolic and can be safely used on painted surface without softening the base paint. Repeated use may soften acrylic nitrocellulose lacquers. It is effective, however, in softening and lifting heavy preservative coatings. Persistent materials should be given a second or third treatment as necessary. Another type of solvent emulsion cleaners has a phenolic base which is more effective for heavy duty applications, but it also tends to soften paint coatings. It must be used with care around rubber, plastics or other non-metallic materials. Rubber gloves and goggles should be worn by protection when working with phenolic base cleaners. Soaps and detergent cleaners. A number of materials are available for mild cleaning use. In this section, some of the more common materials are discussed. Cleaning compound aircraft structure specification MIL-C-5410 type 1 and 2 materials are used in general cleaning of painted and unpainted aircraft surfaces for the removal of light to medium soils, operational films, oils or greases. They are safe to use on all surfaces, including fabrics, leather and transparent plastics. Non-glare finishes should not be cleaned more than necessary and should never be scrubbed with stiff brushes. Non-ionic detergent cleaners. These materials may be either water soluble or oil soluble. The oil soluble detergent cleaner is effective in a 3 to 5% solution in a dry cleaning solvent for softening and removing heavy preservative coatings. These mixtures' performance is similar to the emulsion cleaners mentioned previously. Mechanical cleaning materials. Mechanical cleaning materials must be used with care and in accordance with direction given if damage to finishes and surface is to be avoided. Mild abrasive materials. No attempt is made in this section to furnish detailed instruction for using various materials listed. Some do's and don'ts are included as an aid in selecting materials for specific cleaning jobs. Powdered PMS is used for cleaning corroded aluminum surfaces. Similar mild abrasives may also be used. Impregnated cotton wadding material is used for removal of exhaust gas stains and polishing corroded aluminum surfaces. It may also be used on other metal surfaces to produce a high reflectance. Aluminum metal polish is used to produce a high luster, long-lasting polish on unpainted aluminum clad surfaces. It should not be used on anodized surfaces because it will remove the oxide coat. 3 grades of aluminum wool: coarse, medium, and fine are used for general cleaning of aluminum surfaces. Impregnated nylon webbing material is preferred over aluminum wool for the removal of corrosion products and stubborn paint films, and for the scuffing of existing paint finishes prior to touch-up. Lacquer rubbing compound material can be used to remove engine exhaust residues and minor oxidation. Heavy rubbing over rivets heads or edges where protective coating may be worn thin should be avoided. Abrasive papers. Abrasive papers used on aircraft surfaces should not contain sharp or needle-like abrasives which can embed themselves in the base metal being cleaned or in the protective coating being maintained. The abrasives used should not be corrode the material being cleaned. Aluminum oxide paper 300 grit or finer is available in several forms and is safe to use on most surfaces. Type 1 Class 2 materials under Federal Specification P-C-451 is available in 1.5 and 2 inch widths. The use of carborundum (silicon carbide) paper should be avoided, particularly on aluminum or magnesium. The grain structure of carborundum is sharp and the material is so hard that individual grains will penetrate and bury themselves even in steel surface. The use of emery paper or crocus cloth on aluminum or magnesium can cause serious corrosion of the metal by embedded iron oxide. Chemical cleaners. Chemical cleaners must be used with great care in cleaning assembled aircraft. The danger of entrapping corrosive material in faying surface and crevices counteracts any advantages in their speed and effectiveness. Any material used must be relatively neutral and easy to remove. It is emphasized that all residue must be removed. Soluble salts from chemical surface treatment such as chromic acid or dichromate treatment will liquefy and promote blistering in the paint coatings. Phosphoric citric acid. A phosphoric citric acid mixture in bracket type 1 for cleaning aluminum surface is available and is ready to use as packaged. Type 2 is concentrate which must be diluted with mineral spirits and water. Skin contact should be avoided by wearing rubber gloves and goggles. Any acid burns may be neutralized by copious water washing, followed by treatment with a diluted solution of baking soda bracket sodium bicarbonate. Baking soda. Baking soda may be used to neutralize acid deposit in lead acid battery compartments and to treat acid burns from chemical cleaners and inhibitors. So in this chapter of aircraft cleaning, we have gone through various chemicals, various solution to clean the aircraft in various sections of the aircraft. So remember this very importantly and necessarily so that you may know where to use what.